Hi viewers! This video on volcanoes in the Philippines is brought to you by Evan James, Jake Miller, Frank Guy, and Blake Moore. The Philippines has over 100 volcanoes on its islands, 23 of which are active. The rest are potentially active or inactive volcanoes. Here we see green marks for the inactive volcanoes, yellow marks for potentially active volcanoes, and red marks for the active volcanoes. Of those 23 active volcanoes in the Philippines, over half are stratovolcanoes that have powerful eruptions. Mount Mayon and Mount Bulusan are prime examples of these. These stratovolcanoes pose a high risk due to their frequent ash eruptions and ashfall. However, their lava flows are less dangerous because the normal, high viscosity lava hardens quickly. Mount Mayon is the most active volcano in the history of the Philippines. It first erupted way back in 1616 and has erupted 46 additional times since, the most recent being an eruption in 2018 that the nation still hasn't recovered from. Mount Pinatubo is another major volcano that has been active in the history of the Philippines. It is responsible for the second largest eruption of the 20th century, which occurred June 15, 1991. The eruption shot ash 22 miles into the air and covered the area with debris that piled a meter high. Avalanches filled the surrounding valleys with 660 feet of pyroclastic material. The impact of this event is still felt today as the pyroclastic material explodes when it comes into contact with streams. Despite the calm, inactive appearance of Mount Pinatubo today, it is still technically an inactive volcano. The Philippines are located at the boundary between the Eurasian Plate and Philippine Plate. The oceanic Philippine Plate subducts under the Eurasian Plate, creating the Ryukyu Trench. This is the perfect setup for volcanoes to form. There are many common effects that occur in many different volcanoes. These include risks to humans from ash and also lava flow. But Mount Pinatubo created an effect from its devastating 1991 eruption that you wouldn't think of. It cooled the Earth's atmosphere. This happened because sulfur dioxide was released and spread to the top of the atmosphere. There, it reflected sunlight, leading to the cooling of the atmosphere. The Philippines are always at risk of volcanic activity. Its location on the Pacific Ring of Fire is an indicator that there will be volcanic activity. Its 23 active volcanoes and numerous potentially active volcanoes pose a huge risk throughout the islands. The effort to reduce risk and prepare for emergency is the best way to control the impact of volcanic activity. Monitoring the volcanoes and keeping the public updated are essential to being prepared for volcanic activity. This is something the Philippines does well. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology actively monitors potentially dangerous volcanoes and reports its findings to the public. Shown here are daily reports from the past few days. With this being said, the Philippines could do more to reduce the risk of volcanic activity. When citizens are forced to evacuate, they are taken to evacuation centers like in the image shown here. Obviously, the Philippines is not a wealthy nation, but improving their budgeting and funding would help make shelters cleaner and safer. Continuing the daily updates, but making them more accessible would also help ease evacuations shown in these two images. Not all citizens have access to internet where the updates are posted. Printing them in newspapers and spreading the information that way would be more beneficial to the public. To conclude, we just want to review a few things. The tectonic activity in the Philippines is very complex, which is the reason for its many volcanoes. All of these volcanoes, especially the active ones, prove that the Philippines belongs in the Ring of Fire. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology is the biggest source of information regarding volcanic activity in the Philippines. The Filipinos are limited in their ability to mitigate hazards, but their past experiences remind them to do everything they can to protect the beautiful islands and the people who inhabit them. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video and learned a lot.